Fasu, and welcome back to another episode of me talking about an anime series. And today I want to talk about the second episode of Rewrite, the second season, or the adaptation of the Moon and Terror Road. And what can I say? It was a great episode. And I think I have mentioned it in the previous video about the second season, but so far the second season beats the hell out of the first season. Well, it was kind of the same for Grisaya, also animated by 8-bit, because to adapt 5 heroine roads plus bits of the common road and the original stuff in a single core for a 50-hour plus visual novel, not going to happen. It would be way better if it would be like the adaptation of Little Busters, with the first season being a 2-core and the second season being a single core season. So it would be way better, but enough of that stuff, let's dig in. So we got Koutarou, who is still enjoying his time with Kagari, and it's really nice how it's still going back to the coffee. And as a lover of coffee myself, I can totally understand them, because coffee is awesome. But Koutarou making the coffee and trying to understand what Kagari is doing with his sheet and the countless lines. And I think it was very well depicted how he was totally clueless, because when he tried to look at it in the last episode, he freaked out, his brain basically exploded, and today he thought, well, okay, I have to rewrite myself. And it was really nice, because in the Moon Road of the visual novel, I really enjoyed this scene. Well, it was a bit more emotional, but that's fine. They did still a good job for it. So Koutarou rewriting himself and basically kind of flying up to the higher levels of knowledge itself and getting an understanding of how things are working, what things are, and so on. And I really enjoyed it how they also created these weird backgrounds around Koutarou. The only thing I didn't really understand is, why was he basically naked? But, well, okay, let's say it's just some fan service for the girls. And when he reached even the higher and higher and higher, he found the part of love. And I think it was a really nice way just to say how important love is. And when he was going even higher, there was a wall. He crashed into a wall, and it was the limit of a human being. And then he looked down and he couldn't see anything anymore. It was just black, because he went way too far and he couldn't go back. And then he was basically taken by Kagari, and he found the way to her, which brings him back down to earth, back to his body, however you want to say it. And when he woke up, it started to be an even better chemistry between the two of them, because Koutarou was such a nice character there, and when he said that he wants to help her, and Kagari just looking like a happy girl, it was really fluffy. And like I've said, I've played the original visual novel, and it's still one of my favorites. And because one major part is that I like every one of the heroines, which never happened in any key title before. Well, there was those that I really liked and others like, well, okay, but for Rewrite, I like all of them. And also I think that Koutarou is, out of every story developed by Key or by Maeda Jun, Koutarou is the best protagonist. And also Yoshino is one hell of a best friend character. So I really enjoyed it, and I really think that it is a sad thing that the first season of Rewrite was butchered, because given how the story is, they could have adapted every single heroine route very faithfully. But that's another topic that I'm probably never going to talk about, because I would just starting to cry and hating humanity. Well, okay, not hating humanity, but yeah, it was so cruel to butcher the first season and the heroine roads. But back to the second season with the second episode. After that, to give Kagari a break or a nice change of pace, they went through the city, and then we got to one of my all-time favorite scenes of Rewrite, the dancing scene on the rooftop. Oh boy, it was so great, and I was cheering like a little girl here because I loved the scene, and it was so nice to see it in the anime, because it really gives you the fluffy feeling and how strong Kotaro's love for Kagari is. And also we got to see the villain of the story. Well, we got to see her in the first season, but she was showing up now, not creatures, and it's really funny because how this line is separated from one of the other word lines that Kagari is creating or trying to figure out on that sheet with all these lines. And the villain found out a way to interfere with another line. And it's really funny because Koutarou decided and declared war to her, and because he knows that he can't do it alone, he summoned all the main heroines of the story and Yoshino. And that's basically the ending, how they showed up, and Kotori coming in from the balcony, and the crew of Yoshino making quite a noise in front of Kotaro's house, and then Yoshino showing up. And when they went to the club room, all the other four girls were there, and it was really nice because Koutarou knows what is on the line. And I'm really looking forward to it, to how they go with the Moon Road. If they stay faithful to the source material, or if they will change quite a lot. But so far, this episode was really great, and on an emotional side, it wasn't that strong if you're only an anime watcher, but like myself, who played the visual novel, it was so touching, and I was just smiling like a little girl with wet eyes. So yeah, that's it for now. Thanks for watching, and see you guys later. Adios, bye bye.